I'm Judy Shaw for another segment of What's the Fund? Joining me today is Sean OHara. He is the president of Pacer ETF Distributors. Sean, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Judy. How are you doing?
Doing well and great to talk with you. So tell me, what's the fund that you want to talk about today?
SRVR is the data and infrastructure ETF that we issue here at Pacer ETFs. You know, what I think we're all learning as we're in this seemingly endless lockdown is that there are going to be some long-term trends emerging out of what's going on. You know, we're going to stream more, we're going to video conference more, sort of like what we're doing now. I think e-commerce is going to continue to grow probably faster than what it was before we started this lockdown. AI is a big deal. The Internet of Things is going to become a bigger deal. And what we're learning is that we don't have enough of the critical infrastructure in place to support that growth. We didn't at Pacer ETFs believe it was there to begin with, and that's why we launched these products. But what will power those technologies is going to be computing power, and the computing power is going to be delivered today via data centers, what we all talk about as the cloud. And so we scour the U.S. market for the big data center names like Equinix, and have created an index with Benchmark that owns those data centers. And then once you get the computing power in place, then what you need to be able to is move that data and information. And so fiber optic networks, which are also publicly traded real estate names, and then the cell phone tower companies like Crown Castle and American Tower, they're going to be the folks that are going to be responsible for building critical infrastructure that will allow the movement of this information. So we think this is a good long-term trend. We thought it was before COVID-19. We're starting to see reinforcement of that. Just the other day, for example, Zoom, which everybody's using now for their video conferencing, found out they were woefully unprepared for this surge, and they just made a deal with Equinix to put some of their servers into these data centers that Equinix manages.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me, what's the strategy behind this fund?
The strategy is we look at publicly traded real estate and break it into sectors and subsectors by tenant type, property type, or revenue type. And then we built 8 sectors. We don't have all 8 funds out. The 2 most popular ones we have out today are SRVR, which is data centers and cell phone towers, and then INDS, which is distribution centers, which we also think is, by the way, a good long-term trend. You know, I think what we're all going to do is we're going to do more online shopping. You know, I was at the grocery store the other day. You know, they've got all these little yellow lines and people, you know, going around each other with carts and so forth, and it's just a hassle. So we don't have enough distribution centers to probably meet that demand as well. And so what we're looking for really is what are long-lasting, critical trends in the market where you have the opportunity to invest with people who have a strategic advantage or are performing a critical function. So, you know, data centers, as an example, are buildings, but they're highly technical and highly specialized buildings. I mean, and so there are leaders in this game like, you know, Equinix or CyrusOne who are great at this. And so we just want to be able to take advantage of that. As more and more of these technologies emerge, there are going to be spenders who are trying to build out their business model, and there are going to be receivers like the Equinixes of the world who are going to be building the technical infrastructure to support this growth. And so that's our basic premises. It's almost a technology play that allows you to sort of defang your portfolio, if you will, own your technology and the critical infrastructure that's going to be publicly traded real estate that supports those technological growths.
Okay, and Sean, finally, where can our viewers learn more about this fund and some of your other funds?
Well, PacerETFs.com would be a great place to go to get information. I think we have a fair amount of resources there that would help them understand. And you know, if you've been reading the paper the last couple of weeks, there's been plenty of articles about data centers and the critical infrastructure. So, you know, just Google data centers, if you will, and you'll start to see some articles about this. But there's quite a bit of information at PacerETFs.com as well.
Wonderful. Sean, thank you so much for joining me on What's the Fund?
Thank you for having me. Stay safe. Hopefully we all get unlocked soon.
You too. Yes, hopefully soon. Thanks.